All right, yo, what's up? All right, so we're gonna talk about this week in weather. Um, Before I say anything or talk about all of this, I gotta admit, um, I've been learning about this for about a year or some change. Well, basically, it's the past 7 years, but in depth, for the last year or so. So anything that I may speak on, I have the logistics down, if that makes sense. But for any information pertaining to your location, I would definitely keep up with the National Weather Service and your local weather office. So we have this big snowstorm. I think it's going to be pretty big, in my opinion, and could be wrong. Um, Let me just go ahead and just turn this down just a tiny bit. Um, but it's going to be definitely interesting. We are getting into the 4 day period, so we're getting at the trends of where you basically place a snowstorm. You have basically three phases which you go through. These are the three phases that I go through. You go through, okay, you see a storm. Okay, you try to understand what the models are putting out and see what snowstorm is A, coming, and B, what is happening, if that makes sense. So we're in phase two because we've already seen the storm. We've seen, now we're trying to pinpoint locations. And then phase three is snowfall totals, who gets snow, who gets sleet, who gets ice, etc. How much rain you'll get, how much snow you'll get, how much sleet you'll get. That is snowfall totals. But we're in phase two. Now, we're at the 0Z models, so the models that come out basically late at night from 10:30 to about 2 a.m., which is the ensembles that when they come out because they come out later because it's about 50 members. I'm gonna try to keep this short and simple. We're going through the logistical details of how this storm system is going to come about. Now, if we go to North America, okay, go to upper hair heights. So basically, what you're looking at is, let me go ahead and get my pen here. So you'll see it here, but you have a big ridge. Okay, you have your big ridge, your positive WPO, and then you have again a big dip in the jet stream, of course. I don't think that's where it's at, but and then you have your southern subtropical jet, and then you have your energy. Okay, it's up here. It's actually this right here. But as we go out through the model, what's going to happen is as that energy down here digs around, like here, basically like this, it's going to dig around the ridge. So basically it's going to dig around the ridge, okay? And then interact with the subtropical jet, which is in there. It's basically just a jet. So if you want to learn what the subtropical jet is, just look it up. And that's how you basically get your big East Coast snowstorms. There's a lot of more factors in it because you have to have your blocking, your ridge over here, okay? You have to have your low. Well, it's kind of like, this is basically the polar vortex, but to keep it short and simple for anyone that doesn't go this depth, what you want is you want the energy to be pulled from this Baja low that's been sitting off the coast here, and you want the energy to dig down and interact with the subtropical jet. So let's go into detail. So the energy that is going on around is this next storm system, which is right here for the East Coast. So it's the first storm system. Here it comes. There's the first storm system. Okay, that digs down, and that basically will set the stage for our next system. And again, here is, so what happens is this big low here, this 500 millibar upper hair light low, will sharpen this ridge a lot more, allowing for that's how you get your cold air into the United States. So as this digs off a little bit this way, it's going to make this ridge a lot sharper and allow for this to dig down deeper. So then it allows for this piece of energy to dig around the ridge like that and provide and actually basically hook that upper air heights. Oh, thanks, Siri. So let's see how this plays out. I'll show you here. So again, there you go. So there's the I don't know why I'm pointing at it. What is wrong with me? I don't know why. Okay, there's your low. You see it getting kind of like squished because it's being sucked up. If you can see this energy here sucking. There you go. It sucks some of this upper air low and shoots it off, and that's how you get your deepening pressures and stuff. Some models suck more of it. Some don't even suck it at all. I mean, see, like the GFS here model sucked part of it. I don't know if I should be using that terminology, but point proven. The Canadian model's been showing a big snowstorm the last couple runs. It sucks pretty much all of it. So, I think in the middle is where the Euro what the Euro just showed is pretty accurate. I think will happen. Okay, so now we've seen that. Let's see what it looks like on P-type maps and basically your rain, your snow, your sleet, etc. So basically, again, here comes the energy down. Okay, interacts with the subtropical jet and shoots it off. Basically, the globe is not flat and it's constantly rotating. You don't have something sitting in place, because if we did, then we would all be oceans. So then again, there you go. You can see as it pulls it. Now, don't pay attention to basically where your snow line is at, where your sleet line is at, where your freezing rain is at. Just look the overall trends of what the models have been doing, where it wants the storm to be, because honestly, this could look way different come next Wednesday. And the time, if you want to know what the time slots are, it's going to be in the bottom left here. So Tuesday, it's January 10 o'clock, and then and then it's up here, which is, this is in Zulu time, so ignore that. Just ignore. This is Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So basically, you have a major East Coast snowstorm right there. And it just rides up the coast. I mean, you have enough cold air where from, let's say, the last storm system comes in, and you just have enough cold air. And there you go. There's your major East Coast storm. For your Northeast folk, I don't think it's going to go that far, because if we look, again, we're going to up our air heights, 500 height anomaly. Again, you have a big dip here. And me personally, I don't think it's going to get as far north up there, because one, you have the cold air in place. So if we go to surface temperatures, it is frigid. Like anything so I wouldn't really look at the temperatures, but I would look where the temperature shield is at. Anything in this grayish white is sub 32 degrees. It's not sub freezing, it's sub zero. So that is way too cold to snow. And even if we look at, I'll just be brief on this very quickly. Even if we look at dew points, so basically, obviously, if you don't know what a dew point is, just look it up. But dew points are frigid and dry. Anything you see in this dark brown, sub 15, negative 15, which is cold. Too cold to snow. Very too dry, too cold. So I don't think that'll get that far north, in my opinion. But you know, everything is like, again, like if we look at the Euro here, this is the new 00 model that literally just came out as recording, like 12 o'clock. Go here. That's what it showed last run. Not that far north. And then the run before that was about the same. Run before that was about the same. Run before that, nothing. So you can see in a day's worth, major snowstorm. And that is only because the Euro doesn't really depict on the southern geometry, the Baja low, that it pulls the energy down and just shoots it off like that. And that's how you get your snowstorms. It doesn't show that. It's really bad on how it depicts that. But for the stay a little bit, and what that looks, I don't really want to show you snowfall totals, or it's not a forecast. So don't pinpoint what snowfall locations you have. But something that I do want to hint on is if we go to east, because obviously I'm in the east, and if you live in anywhere more north than that, or anywhere and down here, keep up with your local weather office, because it's a lot closer. But something I want to keep in mind is that the temperatures when this will happen. So if we go to U.S. regions, go to southeast here, if I can find it, there it is. Again, don't look at the map. Don't look at it yet. I want to look at 2-minute temperature. Now, I think this might be a tad. Oh, this is after the storm. It's about the time. So let me see. Okay, this is about when the storm's going on. So again, the temperatures are so cold. Why is it so thick? Okay, so the temperatures around... Guys, I'm the worst. I'm not editing this out. Okay, so the temperatures around here, if you look at it, it is below 32 degrees. That means you're going to have higher snowfall ratios. So basically, if you're at 30 degrees, you have a simple 10-to-1 ratio. So for every 1.1 inches of precipitable water, and you do the math, it's about an inch of snow. So if you have higher snowfall ratios, you have higher snowfall totals at that temperature. So basically, if you have a 15-to-1 snowfall ratio for every 0.1, do the math, you have 5 inches of snow. That 20-to-1, just up and up. So us being in the 20s and lower than 32 degrees, rather if you're close to the coast, you're obviously closer to 32 degrees because of the ocean. If you're inland, you're going to have higher snowfall totals. So that's why if you go to 10-to-1 here, it shows basically like 5 inches, 6 inches. And either like the coast, there's more. And then again, if you go to Kershaw ratio here, it shows a little bit more for some areas. 10-to-1 is okay. The reason why 10-to-1 shows more for the coast rather than inland is because it thinks it's going to be at 30 degrees when it snows, but then it shows. I wouldn't pinpoint. That's the point I want to bring out, that some of the places inland will have higher snowfall ratios, therefore you have more snow to work with. All right, I'm already at 11 minutes, so we're gonna move on. GFS model. We're just gonna keep on the east here. Shows a bit of a northwest trend. It's been pretty. The GFS model is all over the place. I hate the model. I'm gonna be honest with you. Last run about the same, and then the run before that about the same. 60 about the same. What I have learned here is it's slowing down. It's holding the energy, which it shouldn't do, but it does. And then this model has been bombing it out. Everyone, this has been the most consistent model in my opinion. But each run it's just been a bomb. I think it'd be somewhere in between the Euro and the CMC. DFS is a little iffy. They're so bad on how it like interacts with everything. But I would just keep up with the next. I think by Sunday night we'll know more. In my opinion. All right, so I'm looking at the new. Has it come in? Oh, it has. Okay. So this is the new Euro. We're gonna go to the GF ensemble, but this is the new GFS ensemble. So basically you have 50 members, all compacted in one. Now that looks almost identical to its dermatistic model, which is it runs every 6 hours. So basically, what I look at for its ensembles, I look at probabilities. So, but the GFS has been kind of iffy on this storm already, so its probabilities are lower, in my opinion. But I don't know why it went down. GFS model, I swear, it sucks. I'm not using this shit. All right, Canadian. I think the Euro, in my opinion, is the best, and that's just my opinion. Canadian's kind of another one that's been all over the place, but it's been honking the horn. It's been the most consistent. Again, you have probabilities of an inch of snowfall, but at the 10-to-1 ratio. So it's basically, we don't have a Kershaw ratio. But again, it's just probabilities are up there. Another thing I like to look at is snowfall totals through all 50 members. So this factors in each member. So it is high. And it's been like this. It's actually got even higher. Last run, this run, it's higher. So that's something to look at. And then let's see if the Euro ensemble's in. Again, look at that. That is the Euro ensemble. Again, if we look at the last run, the way that the Euro, it's insane. If we go to probabilities, we can't see that yet. Of course. Let's see if we got this in at least. Okay, yeah, this is in. Look at that. That's a 5-inch snowfall mean for my location. 5-inch snowfall mean all the way down southeast. It's not even done. It's not done yet because their storm system's still going on. When all three models show something like that, it's when you start to honk the horn because you're getting into the ending stages, phase 2, and then the beginning stages of phase 3. So I don't know, it's something to really look at, and I'll make an updated video probably Saturday night, tomorrow night. But I don't know. Another model I like to look at is the UK mat. It's it showed with the Euro. It showed with the CMC showed like a day or two ago. Now it's just completely been shit, which I don't understand why. Um, it shows nothing. The system just like, can we lag anymore? Thank you. It shows basically nothing. But if we go back like 2 runs to the 0Z this morning, it showed basically something. So I don't understand why that model's doing that. But I trust the Euro. Euro was pretty good for the last storm, in my opinion. Storm before that, definitely that mid Atlantic snowstorm was actually pretty decent on the Euro. But all in all, I'd stay up to date with your local weather office, and if you don't know how to get to your local weather office, I will show you. So you type in, I know you're not seeing it because I don't, you just go to National Weather Service, okay? Click the first one, okay? And then you would type in your location. So for me, my local weather office is Wakefield. So if you go to, I think, there you go, Wakefield, Virginia. It's basically typed it in. You would type in your zip code at the top, okay? And then you type in, and then it'll show your local forecast office. That is, what? Okay. Oh, that's because it's Fairfax County. That's why. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Again, it'll show it at the top there. And then there's your forecast. Don't trust these weather, like the AccuWeather, the weather app on your phone, any of that stuff. It'll show dumb stuff. Don't trust it. Trust your local weather office. Again, I understand. I saw y'all like I shown 10 inches of snow for where I live, and it says basically nothing on the, because they're unsure. They're also unsure because, but basically if you just go to your local weather office here, and if you go to winter, I mean if we're in winter, there you go. But it'll start showing it more, in my opinion, once we get to it. All right, well this video is long enough, so thanks for watching. And again, your local weather office, get to it. Get to it. I recommend it. But again, just have a good day.